Hey everybody, welcome back to Tired Old Queen at the Movies. Don't forget to check down below for our Steve Hayes merch. You can hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy what we're doing. Hit the bell notification if you'd like to be notified every time a new video comes out. And now, let's go see Steve Hayes, the Tired Old Queen at the Movies.
Oh, Johnny. Come in. Oh, Johnny, I decided to do, this is such a treat, the third version of the all-star adaptations of Agatha Christie mysteries. This is 1982's Evil Under the Sun, directed by Guy Hamilton, with Peter Ustinov reprising his role as Hercule Poirot, starring Maggie Smith, Diana Rigg, James Mason, Sylvia Miles, Roddy McDowall, Jane Birkin, Nicholas Clay, and Emily Hone. Now, this was the third version that was shot after Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. They did one other one after this called Appointment with Death, and then they stopped doing the big picture versions. This one was shot in Mallorca, and basically the plot is this. Poirot is sent there to recover a diamond by Sir Horace Blatt that was taken from him by an aging actress named Alina Marshall, who's played by Diana Rigg.
Thank you for those 3 hours of pure and unadulterated hell.
Now, when Diana Rigg arrives, she's at this resort that has been left to Maggie Smith, who was the mistress of the King of Tyrrhenia.
I don't think you know Arlena.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Arlena and I are old sparring partners.
Horace Blatt hates her.
I'm gonna wring her bloody neck.
His husband hates her because she's fooling around.
Till death do you part.
She's having an affair with the husband of this young couple who comes there, and the guy is really, really hot. The stepdaughter hates her.
Oh my God, she runs like a dromedary with dropsy.
Bitch.
Roddy McDowall is a gay gossip columnist.
Oh, good God, darlings, I plumb forgot.
Who's written a book about her, and she's not going to release the rights, so he's not going to publish the book.
You're going to regret this, Arlena. That's a promise.
Sylvia Miles and James Mason, married couple, are producers, and she just walked out of their Broadway show.
It must have cost you a pretty bundle closing a hit show like that.
But they've come over to try to get backing from her to join another show of theirs. Otherwise, their careers are ruined.
Wonderful to see you, Arlena. We have a fabulous show for you.
Oh, it's a real humdinger, honey.
So the whole setup is who's going to kill Arlena Marshall, and someone does.
Madame Marshall has been strangled.
Maggie Smith has some of the best lines in this.
Yes, but what are the holidays for? If you can't do a spot of flirting and get a bit pissy boots.
Quite right.
When Diana Rigg arrives, she goes, Arlena.
Even in those days, she could always throw her legs up in the air higher than any of us. And wider.
Sylvia Miles and James Mason being married is one of the most unlikely couples in the world. He goes through the whole movie sort of, you know, and she'll say,
I swear, if you were a man, I would divorce you.
This movie has like a comedy atmosphere around the murder. It's very tongue-in-cheek, much more like Murder on the Orient Express was.
Why don't you go and play with yourself?
Excessively.
Is coarseness a substitute for wit, I ask myself.
The characters are two-dimensional. They are costumed to the limit by Anthony Powell, who won the costume Oscar for Death on the Nile. He also won it for Travels with My Aunt with Maggie Smith. He was Maggie Smith's favorite costumer, and she tried to have it so that he would be in every one of her movies. His costumes for this are outrageous, and they're so incredible. When I met Sylvia Miles, I asked her about this, and she said, oh my God, those costumes, it took us forever to get into it, and it was so hot, but that was really wonderful. I mean, where are you going to be in that kind of company? I mean, my God, we were together all the time and laughing. It was a great shoot.
I'll make her care.
Oh, what do you know about care? If it had been up to you, the Good Samaritan would have passed by on the other side.
Nicholas Clay, who is sort of the male hottie in this movie. Powell at one point makes a bathing suit for him, a latex black bathing suit that's a little bit too small for his roundness in the exterior here. So you always get a to see a little bit of butt cheek when he walks. He's the sexiest thing you've ever seen in your life. Diana Rigg sings, "You're the top, you're da da da," and Maggie Smith keeps interrupting her, "You're the top, you're the..." They hate each other. They just hate each other.
But if baby I'm the bottom, you're the top.
And they're so good together. When I saw Diana Rigg a few years ago, they did an evening with Diana Rigg at the Symphony Space. And Diana Rigg talked about this movie. And she said, you know, everybody thought we were not going to get along. She said, Maggie Smith and I got along like a house on fire. We laughed our heads off through this whole movie, which made it even more wonderful that we were supposed to be arch enemies the whole time.
Oh, it's been years.
Well, a little time, yes.
Years.
You know, it's so interesting. People know Maggie Smith now because of her fame in Harry Potter movies as Professor McGonagall, and her equally famous as the Dowager in Downton Abbey. But Maggie Smith was the consummate star of the London stage in the 60s and 70s. And she won Oscars. She won an Oscar for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, which is, oh my God, one of the great ones. She was nominated for playing Desdemona opposite Laurence Olivier's Othello. She won a second Oscar for California Suite, Neil Simon. She could do just about anything. And she was nominated for A Room with a View and Gosford Park. She is a national treasure. There's no way around it. She also is the queen of a certain kind of, clipped mannerism, And she got a lot of that from Kenneth Williams, who was this really wonderful, like the English version of Paul Lynde. He was in all the Carry On movies, and he was just this flaming guy. He was all over the place. He's hysterically funny. If you ever want to see a really, really funny thing on YouTube, go and watch An Audience with Kenneth Williams. It's hysterical. He does great imitations of Maggie Smith and Dame Edith Evans. He tells this great thing about when he was on the stage with Dame Edith Evans, and he said we were in the show called Gentle Jack, and it was really awful. I mean, they were killing us, and the audience would go boo, boo, and the curtain would come down, and Edith Evans would say, "I heard one person say bravo." He said, "No, they said to go home."
And yet you forget that everywhere there is evil under the sun.
Peter Ustinov, Maggie Smith, Dame Diana Rigg, James Mason, Sylvia Miles, Nicholas Clay, Jane Birkin, and Guy Hamilton's version of Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
You can't really say that, can you?
To get ourselves a treat.
That's what she said. Oh, chip it on your tits off.
Eat.